You are watching UBC Lunchtime News. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Sharon Chomjisha. And in our top stories today, President Yoweri Museveni and his Kenyan counterpart Uhuru Kenyatta have signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at creating sustainable peace and cross-border trade between the pastoral communities of Turkana and West Pokot of Kenya and the Karamojong. Addressing a gathering at Naitakwai grounds in Moroto district, both presidents lauded the move as one which will promote cross-border trade prosperity. Details follow.
These cross-border roads, we have already succeeded with His Excellency Uhuru with the road from Mumbari, Kapchorwa, Swamp, Buko, through Kenya to Kitale. That one is being worked on. There we were assisted by the ADB, African Development Bank. We are also working on the road from Mbare, Magale, Bumbo, Wahaha, na kuingia Kenya. So, in the same way, we want to work on the road from Moroto to Amudat to somewhere else in Kenya. We've never been there. Halafu, we can also work on the road through Nakiroro to some other place in Kenya. And then on the other side, from Kotido side, also entering Kenya that side. And then also entering South Sudan. But above all, I want them to help us with the road crossing Kenya to southern Ethiopia. Ile Moyale ni mbali sana, that Moyale is very far that side. We want our own Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopian link through this side, through. So if you and you help me with that, not with money, not have the money, but just with the same language to the funding agencies. Once my oil comes out, I will do it myself. I will not bother with you.
Hakuna kwa mtu. Afrika ni yetu sisi wote. Hao ni namna gani wenzetu? Afrika ni yetu. Na kama tunataka utajiri, jameni, turudi vile tulikuwa. Tuishi pamoja. Vile watu walikuwa wanapeleka mizigo yao, wanauza, wananunua ingine, wanalete. That is where wealth comes from. If you don't trade, you cannot create wealth. If you do not move, you cannot create wealth. And if you don't create wealth, all you are doing is institutionalizing poverty. And we want to eliminate poverty from our people and our region. Kwa hivyo,
now, the remains of Mujozi John Torres and Bekalazi Charles have been flown back from Kuwait 3 months after they allegedly drowned and died. According to the relatives, the two went to Kuwait in May with the hope of making a difference in life. Unfortunately, their dreams were cut short. Details follow.
It was a teary, somber mood as caskets bearing the remains of Mujozi John Torres and Bekalazi Charles were received from Kuwait, where they died recently. By 11 a.m., family and relatives of the two young men who died in Kuwait in June had pitch camped at Entebbe International Airport to witness as government repatriates the remains of their beloved ones. Nalongo Prosi Wamala, mother to late Mujuzi John Torres, narrates the ordeal she has undergone ever since she received the information of the passing on of her son.
Balo yafa nsula mu ddiiro ne manya nti kati kiwedde omwana wange takyadda ne mu ddiiro we nali nkyebase nga nkyakungubaga neevaawo ng'essuubi limpeddemu.
And since then, family and friends started the struggle of having the bodies returned. Salongo Wamala Stephen narrates the numerous attempts he made to Spotlight Company, the organization that allegedly connected his son and others to Kuwait, what turned out to be a death trap.
Tulaba mwami Stephen Mukasa yatugana emmwe olaba nze twazikiza ab'ekireka mmwe baani Stephen Mukasa nga bw'ayogera kati okuva onaga ne tumulinda situddangamu mulaba tukuba amasimu gaffe takyagakwata ne muvaako.
While Mujuzi John Torres had gone as a driver, Bekalazi Charles was to do online deliveries, and according to the family, he had already started working.
Bamugamba agenda kudelivalinga byakulya nga bwolaba bakefisi bwe bakola.
Musajja yali yeekolera bibye ne bamulimbalimba mu buli mwezi bagenda musasulanga obukadde 8 bamutwala Kuwait kumbe bamusikiriza bamutwale bamukole kibagala.
Accordingly, the families of the two deceased persons are demanding for compensation from Spotlight International Recruitment Agency Limited.
Esatu nga tetukola tuli waka oba olowooza ogenda okukola ogamba bajja kubulusi bamuleeta leero tufiiriddwa emirimu mingi nnyo okulabirira abantu abakungubazi tumaze nabo emyezi ng'ebiri nga tubalabirira myezi 3 twagala era esobole okutukola ki kuba ffe twabawa muntu mulamu.
Njikwasa Mukama ku lwange.
Sembacha Alex, from one of the civil society organizations that helped in the repatriation efforts, accuses labor exporting companies for being money-minded at the expense of the lives of young people desperate for job opportunities.
So the condition outside there is not the condition that is put here. The image that is shown on the surface here in Uganda is not the same condition that these girls are working in when you go out there. It is a totally different picture.
The bodies of the two men have been taken to the city mortuary for post-mortem before they are handed over to their families for burial. Meanwhile, police has arrested and detained 3 directors of Spotlight International Recruitment Agency Limited in connection to this matter. Charles Twine, the CID spokesperson, confirms the arrest, pledging nothing but thorough investigations.
If we identify that these people were trafficked, then ultimately we shall have to charge them in accordance with the law.
In the same vein, police confirms that one other body of Kiwanuka Moses, who also died on the same day as Mujuzi and Bekalazi, is yet to be brought back. Late Mujuzi John Torres was a bachelor's degree holder in computer science from Makerere University, who leaves behind a child and a pregnant wife. Dorcas Kimono, UBC TV News.
Very sad news. May the Lord strengthen the families. Moving on from that, national examinations are beginning next month across the country. Now, to set the ball rolling will be Uganda Certificate of Education examinations, followed by primary leaving examinations and Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education examinations. While releasing examination timetables for the 3 set of examinations at Media Center in Kampala District, the Minister for State for Primary Education, Rosemary Seninde, warned school administrators, parents and students not to be deceived that there are papers that leak because examinations are security tight. Take a look.
Uganda National Examinations Board and the Ministry of Education and Sports have released the roadmap for this year's PLE, O-Level and A-Level examinations slated to begin October this year. At least 695,468 pupils registered to sit for primary leaving examinations, showing an increase of 3.4% from 671,988 pupils registered in 2018. For Uganda Certificate of Education examinations, 337,380 candidates registered, with 168,906 female candidates, slightly higher than the male, with a 0.2% increase in candidature. The number of candidates who have registered to sit for Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education examinations has increased by 4.8%, unlike other years where it has been decreasing. Uganda National Examinations Board has urged parents to check and verify the registration status of their children before it is too late.
Is to go to the examination center and ask to inspect the register of the candidates. 2 is to use the SMS system. Emphasize that schools, examination centers must allow the candidates to confirm the accuracy of their registration details.
The examinations are to be conducted under the theme, integrity and security of examinations must be everyone's responsibility. According to UNEB, reports on examination leakage are baseless, though the examination body says it encounters breach of trust by some people involved in conducting examinations.
That examination malpractice is a serious vice and a form of corruption. That malpractice will impact very, very negatively on the quality of our education. That examination malpractice will impact very, very negatively on the credibility of the national awards.
The Minister of State for Primary Education, Rosemel Seninde, said they do not expect to see schools involving themselves in examination malpractice, urging parents to also cross-check the registration status of the schools they take their children.
We always appeal to parents to make sure they put the head teachers to task to show them the schools where their children are going to be registered. Because minus that, it is very difficult for a parent to know whether the child is going to be registered or not. So the
UCE exams begin on 14th October with physics and chemistry practical. I'm Nafka Farida and Patrick Mugera reporting in Kampala.
Uganda will soon launch the National Development Plan 3, whose core goal will be to consolidate the achievements of NDP 2 and tackle its impending challenges like low productivity in agriculture and competitiveness in private sector, inaccessible social service delivery and wide income inequalities, among others. Now, this has been highlighted at the National Budget Conference for the financial year 2020-2021, as Mark Arnold Wedula reports.
Foundations of the National Development Plan 2 in Uganda's Vision 2040. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in a speech read by Prime Minister Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, has highlighted the need to drive Uganda out of poverty by creating inclusive opportunities in various sectors.
The vision is centered on strengthening the fundamentals of the economy, basic infrastructure, human resource development, peace and security, and others. And this is in order to harness the abundant opportunities in agriculture, tourism, minerals, including oil and gas, and also take advantage of the demographic dividend amongst others.
Under the theme Sustainable Industrialization for Inclusive Growth, Employment and Wealth Creation, the conference attracted various economy stakeholders from government and civil society to dialogue on Uganda's economic priorities and challenges in the coming years.
The low level of productivity in agriculture. Over 68% of our population is in a subsistence economy. The second is the uncompetitive private sector as a result of high cost of electricity, transport, and money, as the President has said in his speech. The existing gaps in social service delivery and widening inequality coupled with increase in poverty from 19.7 in 2013 to 21.4 in 2017.
As of 2017, Uganda's population was recorded to be over 43 million. World Bank officials assert the need to watch population growth rates vis-à-vis national planning initiatives.
Uganda has one of the world's highest population growth rates, with almost half of its people under the age of 15. As a result, once population growth is accounted for, the economy's average annual per capita growth is significantly reduced.
The conference kickstarts the consultations on the budget for the next financial year 2020-2021, which is the first year of implementation of the third National Development Plan. Reporting for UBC, Wadulo Makanold.
You're still watching UBC Lunchtime News. In more stories, King Oyo becomes the first king in the world to be awarded the World Civility Award. Now, a group from the U.S. recognized his efforts towards socio-economic transformation. And all this and many more happened as the king celebrated his 24th coronation anniversary. Kawa has a full report on this.
The 24th Toro Kingdom anniversary has been held at Karuzika Palace in Fort Potro. The Impango festivity was flagged off with a service at St. John's Cathedral in remembrance of late Kamura Sirukidi III.
Foundation or the key factor or the powers behind the king is the God. So the king found it fit to have a church here, and in 1937 that's when he laid the foundation of this church.
Kamurasi is King Oyo's grandfather. The right side, as you face the pulpit, is reserved for the royal family.
Ugamba omukama obatandikira kanisa eno bamuha a special area mbere ikara arorerira bakwaya hai harutai hati obwabo mukama ataroho undi aba royal family bataroho site zikara vacant. Betunko kwa royal family bali baingi tikani hadile be vacant.
Reverend Charles Sindolerire, who led the sermon, called for more support in environmental conservation.
And we are so grateful to our king because he's working hard so that all these swamps and the great river Mpanga, this river is very, very important, you people, you don't know it. This great river of Mpanga, this one here, you don't know. And if you need to know, even Jesus Christ took waters from this river, if you need to know. Because it flows, goes back behind that mountain, joins Lake Albert, goes to Egypt.
King Oyo becomes the first king in the world to be recognized with the World Civility Award from the United States of America. This is in recognition of his fight against HIV, among others. The king has also officially launched a book showcasing Toro Kingdom beauty, culture, and history.
I officially launch this great book called The Great Kingdom of Toro. Thank you very much.
King Oyo asked the people of Toro to live in harmony and as well be healthy. Government was represented by the second Deputy Prime Minister, Alhaji Chirunda Chivei Jinja. King Oyo marks 24 years on the throne. Ivan Kahwa and Idris Lukwago in Fort Potro.
Congratulations to the King of Toro. Moving on, National Union of Disabled Persons of Uganda, NUDIPU, wants the government to speed up the impending laws and policies for persons with disabilities in Uganda. Now, while talking to the media at NUDIPU headquarters in Bokoto, they said several engagements have been organized, but RIP Nothing as the main concerned party. Details follow.
National Union of Disabled Persons of Uganda, NUDIP, wants government to commit itself on reviewing and initiating laws to cater for persons with disabilities.
The National Policy on Disability has not yet been reviewed for the past 10 years. The National Inclusive Education Policy and the National ICT Policy for persons with disabilities has not yet been approved by Cabinet.
The program's manager NUDIP Martin Senoga says even the assented to mental and health bill is not gazetted and cannot be cited.
The health bill, which was assented to by the President on 25th December 2018, has not yet been gazetted and therefore cannot be enforced or even cited as a public document.
These are saying government commitments motivates persons with disabilities to be more appreciative.
The ability of ICT that the government using the PPDA, they can procure the right ICT for persons with disabilities, and even training people to use it So all those are part of that policy.
Therefore concerned by the government commitments which are always not met, and hence leaving the lives of persons with disabilities in jeopardy.
But what we are saying is that the government of Uganda decided to commit itself. And so this commitment in 2018, maybe if it was a matter of appeasement, then this is the time they should implement what they have committed themselves to.
This is not the first time for persons with disabilities to call government to expedite their concerns, hence the accumulation of commitments. Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC News.
Lunchtime News will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with you.
Three. What's up with number 3? It's 3 at Airtel and not 4 anymore. It's 3 shillings per second across all networks in Uganda.
Make calls from Airtel to all networks at 3 shillings per second. Get to talk to anyone on any network anytime at 3 shillings per second. Tuanzi Soze!
Airtel, the smartphone network. Airtel is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission. Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
You're still watching UBC Lunchtime News. In our business stories, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, in partnership with the State Minister for Tourism, Godfrey Chiwanda, sensitizing political leaders on recruiting companies abroad. Now, statistics indicate that since 2016, 41,580 Ugandans have been employed in the UAE countries. All these Ugandans pass through registered companies, despite the fake ones involved in human trafficking. Details follow.
Over 41,580 Ugandans are already working in the United Arab Emirates, and out of this, 29,359 are female and 12,221 are male. This is according to the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development statistics since 2016-19. However, despite the increasing numbers of Ugandans yearning to work abroad, there are still several challenges, which include human trafficking and torture by unregistered companies, which have caused government to be accused for not doing enough to fight these vices. A senior labour officer at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Wasukira Raymond, says, in the efforts to fight these vices of human trafficking and torture, government has registered over 160 recruiting companies abroad and encouraged Ugandans to use them.
You should know a true company. There are other companies that are not genuine, others are genuine. So please take the initiative of knowing these companies so that you move freely in a company that is legally registered. Placement fees are known. We don't charge any fees. Companies are not mandated to charge placement fees apart from something maybe like application, which is about 50,000.
This was during the sensitization workshop for Mityana, Mubende and Kasanda political leaders organized by Minister of State for Tourism, Godfrey Chiwanda, and the Ministry of Gender and Enro Hotel in Mityana Municipality. Chiwanda said the workshop aimed at training political leaders on the registered recruiting companies and regulations guiding the industry. Chiwanda commended the good work done by registered companies, but said a lot is still needed because unemployment is still at 67%.
Then when they have the information, they should work with the right people. If they have some people to guide from their sub-counties, that's why I've called the women leaders, because most of the people are going are women. Some of them are married, some of them are single mothers. So they need to get this information so that if any company comes to their sub-counties, they can be able to interact with them, they can even be able to ask them, they can even to get this kind of, because now this company, most of the companies that have been going to the villages, they are not registered, they take our people illegally. So
the general manager, Premier Recruiting Company, Kanasha, and the political leaders after the workshop had their say on external labor placement.
Or you may not have even completed high school. Don't worry if you can't find your dream job. Most people will never start their careers in their dream job. I would encourage you to take any opportunity that you can. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world today, and especially when you look at Uganda, has the youngest population in the world, with a very, very high rate of unemployment between 18 to 25-year-olds.
Let's compare it to what they should recruit. So sometimes they recruit in excess when they have less jobs, which has caused the commotion to their offices.
Company ezikola bulungi zikola bulungi naye abaana abafunye ebizibu abasinga obungi bwe bakukusa obukukusani babayise Nairobi ku bigere naye abantu abayise makampuni agalagirwa amateeka bali mu mbeera nnungi.
External labor jobs, especially in Arab, are currently strewn with controversies hinged on mistreatment of Africans while at work. Report compiled by Salon Kasvante in Mityana.
Indeed, people should be more cautious about which companies they use to take them to UAE countries for more jobs. Now, moving on, the Civil Society Coalition on Oil and Gas has come to the defense of government on the issue of tax waiver to the international oil and gas companies. CSOs argue that rushing the project without complying with stipulated tax laws would compromise oil and gas benefits to Uganda and ultimately set a bad precedent. Dennis Sigowa reports.
Na leo nataka niwape siri moja. Nilikuwa namuuliza Mzee Museveni, mbona unachelewesha hili bomba? Kwa sababu ya kodi ya huko ambayo umekataa kuikubali. Kodi yenyewe ni $600 wakati utakuwa unatengeneza bilioni 800 US dola.
Remarks at the inaugural Tanzania-Uganda Business Summit in Jerusalem continue to elicit mixed reaction in various forums. Uganda's Civil Society Coalition on Oil and Gas has come out to support Uganda Revenue Authority's right to pursue Tullow Oil's tax obligations to finality.
What we are trying to avoid is arm twisting, so that you give concessions against the provision, you bend the law and give these concessions. So we still encourage engagement, the understanding of the oil companies, and that's why we're even calling the URA and government to come out and provide information to the citizens, so that citizens also understand that this situation is not a situation within the hands of government, that it is government that is delaying actually the investment, because we also have local investors.
The increasing pressure on Uganda government to waive the 617 billion shillings capital gains tax in the interest of expediting the oil and gas production is in the limelight.
Our tax laws beyond just the petroleum industry, there are laws on how tax waivers are given. And I do not think that if the companies want a tax waiver on this matter, I do not think that they are going about it the right way. So already, my stand is that, and our stand is that companies must pay this tax. And then they can negotiate tax waivers in different forums on different issues.
The attempt by the international oil companies to undermine Uganda's tax laws and limit tax obligation is strongly opposed by the Civil Society Coalition on Oil and Gas.
So going forward, we think
it is not very, very necessary for us to rush through the project when actually we are not going to benefit.
I don't think that the pressure is one-sided. They also share the pressure. They have invested for more than 10 years, and they want to see a return on their investment. So I think we need to be steadfast.
The dispute on capital gains tax, which has stretched for more than 2 years, notwithstanding repeated attempts to break the impasse, is not the first dispute over tax in the country's extractive sector. Talo and Heritage have similarly previously embroiled in disputes with Uganda Revenue Authority over tax. Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
Now, with the coronation of the Kyabazinga going on in Jinja, UBC team is set to take you over and to show you what the event is about and what's going on. We'll hand you over to the field.
Are we on air? Are we on air? Okay. All right, so we can talk in the background. Viewers of UBC TV and Star TV, we are coming to you. We are coming to you live on air from Butembe Chiefdom, and this is where the 5th coronation activities of the Kabaka, or the King of Busoga Kingdom, that is the Kyabazinga Wilberforce Gabula Nadiope the 4th, the celebration, the coronation anniversary. And we have just ushered him in, and there are so many people, as you can see on your screen. On your screen, we are live from Butembe Chiefdom, and this is one of the chiefdoms actually that comprise of Busoga Kingdom. My name is Edward Krukidi Kijana Ngoma, and I'll be joined by my colleague here. I will be giving you everything as it unfolds and takes place here in Luganda, but also the local language, that is what will be happening here. But what I can tell you is that there are so many people, so many delegations that have come from both government and other people from outside Uganda. They are all here to take part, to be part of this very, very important event, and that is the 5th coronation anniversary of the King of Busoga, that is Kyabazinga Wilberforce Gabula Nadiope the 4th. Now, what you're seeing is actually one of the key events that actually take place that happened before. Happen here, and that is the king is going to be sounding the drums here to symbolize his power, of course, to symbolize his power and also his rule over Busoga Kingdom. And after that, we expect the king to sit on the throne or the seat, and that is the drumming. That is what is happening here. But let me turn you to my colleague here to give you what is happening here in Luganda.
Kituufu nnyo mulungi atuwuliriza era tulaba ndowooza osobola okulaba ekigenda mu maaso essaawa zino, era nga Kyabazinga asobodde okuba nga atuuka essaawa eno we twogerera, era nga azze ne mukwano gwe First Son. Giraba kigenda mu maaso, emikolo ennono ng'era bwe bibeera mu Busoga, era nga bwe mubirabyeko ne mu cultures endala zonna, ensonga yegenda mu maaso we twogerera essaawa eno. Tuli Busoga, era nga Kyabazinga ajaguza amatikira ge ag'omulundi ogwokutaano wano e Butembe we tuli olunaku olwaleero. Emikolo misufu era nga abantu bangi nnyo okutwaliza wamu. So tulindiridde okulaba speeches ez'enjawulo ezigenda maaso, ezigenda okugenda maaso n'okubanga zoogerwa naye eno ndowooza olaba esanyufu nnyo ogematikira ag'omulundi ogwokutaano, era ndowooza eyo abantu basanyufu nnyo okutwaliza wamu, era ndowooza obalaba Kyabazinga ng'agenda maaso n'okubanga
tujja kubanga tudda.
The first time we really met was around 2007, 2008.
2008.
Yeah. And